Please remain standing as Commissioner David Nallner leads us in the invocation, and Commissioner Mark Presley will lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Like everybody, bow your heads and repeat the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, and forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome to this session of the Hartsville-Charles County Commission. First order of business, Ms. Rita, would you call the roll, please?
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton, Alan Carmen, Grant Cothran, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Richard Johnson, Judy Kerr, David Nallner, Leslie Overman, Mark Presley, Amber Russell, Lonnie Taylor, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker. 16 present, 4 absent.
Thank you. I will assume that everyone's had an opportunity to read the minutes from the June 24th commission meeting. If there are no changes, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Ford, second by Mr. Belcher. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Under announcements, I spoke with Richard Johnson about 30 minutes ago. He called me, sounded really good, said to pass along a message to all of you that he was looking forward to being back, that he missed each of you, and he hoped to be back soon. He chastised me mildly for not having to come see him. So I promised him in the next couple of days I'll stop by and see him. Any upcoming events that we need to call to our attention? Anyone? Yes, sir.
I'll speak for everyone here in that we all our thoughts are with the Adam Cothran family, and just want to acknowledge that officially.
Sheriff Russell, do you have the latest report on Adam as to how he's doing?
To the Spinal Institute.
Okay.
And that's the best place, one of the best places in the United States to go to with spinal injuries. So it's kind of a pray all you can pray, because he needs our prayers, and hopefully everything come out to the good.
Okay. Thank you for that. Let me remind everyone to continue in prayer for Adam. Any announcements to be made at this time? If not, then we'll set the agenda. There are no other additions or changes to the agenda. Do I have a motion to set the agenda as presented? Motion by Mr. Gregory. Chris, second by Mr. Gully. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. If there are any citizens' response to agenda items, if you wish to speak to the commission tonight, be sure to sign in at the podium over here to my right. You'll be called upon to address the commission at the proper time. Anyone like to come up and sign up? Okay, next item. The county mayor's report. I reported to the work session last week that the lights at the courthouse have been provided by Downtown Revitalization. I think they still have a few more lights to put up. They've been well received. 4th of July event went really, really well. Commissioner Gregory, do you have an update on the park? I know they worked really hard one week, and have they been back?
I drove by there before I come up here. It don't look like they've done nothing but excavating or whatever.
Okay. Looks like everything is leveled and ready to
Yeah.
go.
It's-
Okay. Upcoming projects, we're waiting to the next county court meeting to address the transfer of the ward property. But other than that, tonight, I don't have any new information to bring forward. I'm not trying to move too fast tonight, but, at this time, we'll entertain committee reports. Commissioner Gully? You have,
Yes, sir. Budget and Finance met last Monday night at 6. I actually started purchasing met at 5:45. The quarterly purchasing report was gone through by the subcommittee, which is inside the Finance Committee. Those 5 members looked through the report we did have one absent that night, but as they looked through the pieces, the purchasing was accepted as no issues were seen, no questions were asked on the purchasing side of things. Actually, the finance side of the meeting then started at 6. We did have a little bit of difficulty. I hope we got that. I know there was sound, but no video, I believe, for that meeting. So I think we'll try to clear that up in the future. But in this case, as we go forward, in the finance committee meeting, we went through trustees' cash balance, went through the financial summaries. It was accepted by the committee with a favorable recommendation to pass it on and accept it into our minutes. And probably the shortest finance committee I've been in since I've been on. We had no budget amendments to be brought to the table on that night. That's a great thing. That means at least the first month of the budget made it through without any amendments.
okay, are there any other reports from committees for us this evening? Yes, sir. Mr.
I'd like to set a public works, committee meeting maybe for August the 13th at 6, if nothing's already set for that.
Okay, August 13th at 6. Are there any other chairs that need to announce an upcoming meeting in August? Yes, sir.
It's from our June the 27th Personnel Committee. We visited the personnel policy. It was questioning whether we would change the holiday pay to straight 8 hours for all employees but we decided to keep the workday as is in the policy. Further discussion on holiday pay continued to qualify for overtime or calculated as work time. It was decided to revisit this portion of the personnel party at the next meeting.
Okay.
And we'll be meeting this Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Any other dates set? Ms. Russell?
If the EMS committee members could meet here directly after this meeting, I want to look at 2 dates for a possible meeting.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Just want to remind codes and zoning that we have a meeting scheduled at 6 p.m. I know our meetings have been running a little long, so I wanted to try to get a little earlier start than our normal 7 o'clock meeting. But that'll be on August 1st in the mayor's office.
Okay, thank you. Any other dates that need to be set? If not, we will move into active business. It's important that we make an acknowledgement tonight of the fiscal year 2025 bond for elected officials. This is for the acknowledgement of the annual bond for elected officials and administrators. TCA requires all elected officials and certain officials and departments to be bonded. This policy through Tennessee Risk Management Trust covers this requirement. No action for the commission is necessary, but it's important that be brought to the court meeting. Under resolutions, we have a resolution 2024-13-810, Providence Community Center property. Everyone should have a copy of the resolution in front of them. This was handed out before the meeting. Does the commission have any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Ford. Discussion. If not, all in favor say aye. Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. This is an electronic vote, so please record your vote. All votes are in. I'm sorry? 16 yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Under other ordinances, budget ordinances, public hearing, we have 4 ordinances to address this evening, all concern the budget appropriations for fiscal year 2025 and the tax levies for general and urban districts. The general services tax levy is proposed to be 1.9877. The urban services tax levy is proposed to be 0.6731. I'll now open the floor for public hearing on all fiscal year 25's tax levy and budget ordinances. Is there anyone that wishes to speak to these ordinances? Is there anyone who wishes to speak to these ordinances? Is there anyone who wishes to speak to these ordinances? Mr. Gully?
I'll make a motion to approve, the general service tax levy. My bad. I'll make a motion to close public hearing. I forgot we were in public hearing.
Motion accepted, second by.
Nobody signed for public
Second by Mr.
comment,
Crook.
correct?
All in favor of closing public hearing, please let me know by voice vote, by saying aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carried. Now, Mr. Gully, I'll entertain your motion.
I noticed no one had signed for public hearing comments, so that I didn't see any need to go any further with that one. So make a motion to approve the general tax levy.
We have a second by Mr. Chris Gregory. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Up, I did it again. Roll call. Sorry. By the end of the evening, I'll get this right. Okay.
Beverly Atwood's absent. Tom, oh, yeah, you don't forget, press your device too when you vote. Tommy Belcher? Shane Burton? Yes. Alan Carmen? Grant Cothran's absent. Brian Crook? Will Dennis? Yes. Jerry Ford? Chris Gregory? Yes. Bubba Gregory? Yes. Landon Gully? Yes. Judy Kerr? David Nollner? Yes. Leslie Overman? Yes. Mark Presley? Amber Russell? Lonnie Taylor is absent. David Thomas? Yes. Steve Whitaker? Yes. 15 yes, 13 yes, 1 abstained and 1 no.
I have several that did not record.
If you didn't record on your device, could y'all press that in for, so we have an electronic and a roll call? You didn't.
Mr. Ford, please vote on your device. Mr. Belcher also.
Anybody?
I'll make it.
14 yes, 1 abstained and
The 307-2024-07, general services appropriation for fiscal year 2025. Appropriations are set as recommended by the Finance Committee. Are there any questions or discussion? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Gully. Here a second by Mr. Presley. Please record your, any discussion this time? No, please record your votes on your electronic device. Roll call. But also record it on your device too.
Tommy Belcher, You ready? Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton,
Yes.
Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory,
No.
Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully,
Yes.
Judy Kerr, David Nallner,
No.
Leslie Overman, Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell, David Thomas,
No.
Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
Will y'all please register on your device also when you voted? Okay. 12 yes, 4 no.
Then the motion carried. Next, we have ordinance, I'm sorry. Hmm? I think you have to have a supermajority to go to third reading.
I'll double check.
Okay.
I'll make sure.
Counselor's checking on number of votes we have to have. In order to take it to a third reading tonight, but, correct. Sir?
You're correct.
Okay. Motion carried. I'm moving to ordinance 308, 2024-8, Urban Services Tax Levy. The Urban Services Tax Levy is proposed to be 0.6731. This can only be voted on by the 3 members of the Urban Services Council. Are there any questions or discussion? What is the will of that committee? Motion to approve by Bubba Gregory. Need a second? Second from Mr. Presley.
Mark Presley,
Yes.
2 yes, 1 absent.
Motion carried. Next, we have ordinance 309, 2024-09, Urban Services Appropriations for fiscal year 2025. Appropriations are set as recommended by the Finance Committee and the Urban Services Council. Are there any questions or discussion? Yes, sir.
I think this is a good idea, but I don't think the money should be taken out of the urban services. I think it should be taken from the general fund, out of which that they would not.
For, I think we're looking at a separate issue here.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
if you pass, the budget passes, if they can
Money for what, coming from what?
do what?
Money coming for what? You didn't say what.
Oh, I'm sorry, the money for the awards,
Not a,
it's not in the budget?
it's gonna be a budget amendment coming up. It was not prepared for the budget during that process.
Okay, forget it.
What is the will of the body? Motion to approve. Your second, second by Mr. Presley. Voice vote and also recorded on your
Roll call.
roll call. But we're supposed to record it on our device, correct? Gotcha. Ms. Crowder?
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton,
Yes.
Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Judy Kerr, David Nallner,
Yes, sir.
Leslie Overman, Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker. Yes, no, hold on, I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. 13 yes, 3 no, 4 absent.
Third reading at this time. In order for the third reading of the budget and tax levies to happen tonight, commission will need to vote to hold a third reading. What is the will of the body? Okay. Have a second? Second from Ms. Russell. All in favor of having a third reading? Any discussion? Roll call? Yep. We will need a 2/3 of the total court, which would be 14 votes.
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton,
Yes.
Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, no. Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Judy Kerr, David Nallner, Leslie Overman, Mark Presley,
Yes.
Amber Russell, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker.
Yes.
So 14 yes, 2 no.
So the motion carried. We will now go to the third reading for each ordinance, beginning with ordinance 306, 2024-06, General Services Tax Levy. Each will be a roll call vote. When your name is called to vote, please remember to record your same vote on the electronic device. This is both needful and necessary that we take this route. Yes, sir.
So as we're looking at this budget, through all the discussions we've heard about, limiting growth because it's not like things were back in the 90s, not wanting to raise taxes, but the only way you don't raise taxes is your growth. Not wanting to give employees raises because we can't afford to do it, but we don't want to raise taxes. Not being able to have employment retention and having to make special caveats for certain employees to try to get that. This budget is a little haphazard in its construction. I'm looking at, we're not going to raise taxes, but we've got a couple that want to stop growth. So what are we going to do next year if we start stopping growth? When we get over to the allocation side of things, there's a handful who don't want to give raises, don't want to give as much raise even in this proposed budget as other departments are giving their employees, both the Department of Education and the highway department are both giving 5% raises. We're only in this budget giving a 2.5. There's a lot of mixed signals coming out of this budget to both our employees and our county. I really wish that this commission would take a moment to kind of think about that. And maybe we need to continue to some more discussion on this budget than just go ahead and passing it on through.
Any other discussion? If not, we're looking at ordinance 306, 2024-06, general tax levy. The general services tax levy, as stated earlier, is proposed to be 1.9477. Any other further discussion? Yes, sir, Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? Second by Ms. Overman. Any other discussion? Please record your vote, roll call vote, and please record your vote on your device.
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton, Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Judy Kerr, David Nallner, Leslie Overman, Mark Presley, Amber Russell, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker. 15 yes, 1 no.
Okay, now we'll be looking at ordinance 307, 2024-07, general services appropriation for fiscal year 2025. Appropriations are set as recommended by the Finance Committee. Are there any questions or discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Bubba Gregory. I hear a second. Second by Mr. Whitaker. Any further discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote, and please record your vote on your electronic device.
Tommy Belcher, Shane Burton, Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Judy Kerr, David Nallner, Leslie Overman, Mark Presley, Amber Russell, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker. 11 yes, 5 no.
Ordinance 308, 2024-08, urban services tax levy, set at 0.6731. This can only be voted on by the 3 members of the Urban Services Council. Any questions, gentlemen? Motion to approve by Mr. Gregory. Do I hear a second? I do, by Mr. Presley. Discussion? If not,
Bubba Gregory, Mark Presley. Yes. And Lonnie's absent, so 2 yes, 1 absent.
motion carried.
Y'all just.
Are we catching up with the technology at this point? We ready for the next ordinance? Ordinance 309, 2024-09, urban services appropriation for fiscal year 2025. Appropriations are set as recommended by the Finance Committee and the Urban Services Council. Are there any questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Presley, second by Mr. Bubba Gregory. Any discussion? Not. We'll have a roll call vote. Please record your vote on your device.
Tommy Belcher. Shane Burton. Alan Carmen. Ryan Crook. Will Dennis. Jerry Ford. Chris Gregory. Bubba Gregory. Landon Gully. Judy Kerr. David Nollner. Leslie Overman. Mark Presley. Amber Russell. David Thomas. Steve Whitaker. 12 yes, 4 no.
And the motion carried. Madam Clerk, you gave me a name of notaries. Is that what we're on next, right here? And I will announce those. Christy Dalton, who is employed by the Chamber Law Firm. Sherry Baxley, self-employed. Christina Vitito with First National Bank. I hear a motion to approve. I do by Ms. Russell, second by Chris Gregory. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carried. Is there any other business to come before the commission at tonight's meeting? Mr. Gregory?
I had the Public Works meeting I need to move it to that Thursday night because junior high football games are going on Tuesday night and I run the scoreboard and I not know if that's a home game or not. So I need to move it to a Thursday night.
Well, it would be hard to have a game without a scoreboard operator, so I certainly we could make,
August the 15th at 6 o'clock, if it's available.
we could make that adjustment for certain. Any other business? At this time, we'll entertain any public comment. Am I supposed to say that 3 times? Is there no public comment? Motion to adjourn, second. This motion is not debatable. All in favor say aye. Thank you for your participation.